Hello, welcome to my craft room. It's Wednesday night. My name is Terry Phelps and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I try to go on Wednesday nights to share some crafting, and so it's been a while, and I noticed a lot of people have been having problems with sound on their videos, so I'm hoping that everything's working. Tonight I'm going to do a card that's a simple flap card, and I'm also going to bring in an old technique that's been around forever, but I like bringing it back sometimes because I like the background that it can make. And so we're going to do that. And what I did is I made 5 different cards, and I used all different celebration items, and I did the technique in different ways and made the cards just a little bit different for each one. So it is Celebration, if you don't know, and that is the biggest sale of the year for Stampin' Up! And so this brochure is full of freebies. And then now, if you go online, there's also more things that they've added. So tonight I'm going to be using quite a few of these. So I'll bring it down to my desktop. I hope everyone's good. I hope they're staying warm. It's been really cold here. So, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain because I've only had to shovel like twice, I think. So that's just awesome. I live in Minnesota, so that's like really unheard of. So let me go down to my desktop here. Alrighty. So the card that I'm going to make is just a very simple flap card, and I kind of like to just make the card and kind of not share what it looks like until you see me actually doing it. So I'm going to bring in my materials here. So let's see, I'm going to cut my card information stuff here first. So for my card base, I'm going to make it's going to be a 5.5 by 8.5, but I'm going to, at the end, it will be actually 5.5 by 7.25. So I'm going to start by cutting that. So we've got 5.5. Oops. I'm kind of out of it, if you can tell. And then it's going to be 7.25. I'm going to bring out my arm here. Okay, and then I'm going to score this at 4.25. I think. Yeah. All right, and then what we have left is just this little 1.25 strip, and I'm going to cut that to be 4.25. And then I'm going to score that at 3/4 of an inch. So that makes up our pieces of our card base. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to cut a 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to be for my inside. So we'll do 5 1/4. And then we'll do 4. So that's going to be on the inside. And then I'm going to cut 2 panels. And you can do this several different ways, and you'll see the cards that I've made that I've done this differently for each one. And this one I'm going to do a front panel and an inside front panel, and one of them is going to be just in your basic white, and the other one's going to be in a designer series paper. So I'm going to have, and this is directional, so make sure you pay attention to your designer series paper if it does have a design, because I want it to be cut the correct way, right? So this part will be the 2 3/4. And then it's going to be 5 1/4. So that's my designer series piece. And then I'm going to have, whoops, that was that piece, right? I'm mixing up my, which ones I've cut and which ones I haven't. Okay, so that's that. And then I want a second one that's just your basic white. And I'm going to do that also at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I want to make sure that this is even 5 1/4. Yep. Okay, so 2 3/4. All right. So I think that's all of our paper cutting. And then we also need to, I want to cut, let's see, I need to cut some, this is another piece. I want to cut some designer series paper for my focal point. So I'm going to use the small die, and these dies that I'm using are actually an online exclusive. They're the Everyday Arches bundle, and so you get these fun sentiments, and they follow the arches just like the dies. And so I'm using 2 different sizes so that I can kind of frame my arch. So those are not Celebration, but I really thought with the shape of the mushroom, I kind of like the idea of using arches. So that's kind of where that came in. So I'm going to, I don't like that. I'm going to set this about right here. Whoops. That makes a good focal. All right. I'm going to take this off of me. There we go. And then, so I'm going to take all this stuff out of here. Don't need that in here anymore. And then we're going to take, and we're going to take 2 of these, and this is the large, slightly larger. This is a different designer's series paper design, but I liked the little snails, and it coordinated nicely with the green. So we're going to just cut. I think we'll go with that. All right, so I'm going to run these really quickly through. Is everybody getting ready for Valentine's Day? I don't really do much for it. Alrighty. We've got that piece. And then I'm going to do the same die, and I'm going to cut this one. I hope everybody's taking the celebration advantage of the celebration, because it's such a great deal. Free is always good, right? Alrighty, and so then I just need to cut this one, and we're done doing our cutting. All right, so now I have all of our pieces. And let's see, I think that is it. So now what's going to come in play is my technique. And so on this card, I'm actually using the basic white designer series or cardstock to become my focal point for this. So I'm going to bring in, and this is an old technique that a lot of people have used over the years, and I think it's really fun. And so I'm going to bring in the colors that are on the designer series paper. And now I know I could just cut a sheet of this, but I decided, you know what, I can wash this all the time and just keep reusing it and keep my hands clean. So that was kind of the idea behind that. So I'm going to use my Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to, if you have a super light color, you can go heavier on the ink. When I did this card, I went really heavy on the Melon Mambo, and I did not like it. So I'm going to try to just do this a little bit lighter. And I actually did like you do with a stamp. I stamped off, and that's not too bad. All right, so I'm going to just take and rub this all through, and hopefully it's not too dark. It is a little dark, but I don't think it's too bad. We'll see. Okay, so that's going to do with that. And then this one, I'm going to do only an inch and about, let's see, it would be, I want to go in about an inch and 3/8. So I'm just going to make a really light tick just to kind of mark that spot. Whoops. It'd help if I put the ruler in probably kind of straight, right? All right, so then I'm going to mask this because I don't want my ink to go I don't want my ink to go past. If that makes sense. All right, and then I'm going to do some rubbing again. Okay. I did not want that to move. But it's a background is what I'm making, so that's okay. All right. A little darker on top. That's okay. These are similar. I could, just to try to even it up, I could go a little lighter. This is kind of like stamping off because you can't really control the ink too much. So on this way, I just have two choices. Okay. All right, and then I'm also, to add a little contrast, I'm going to do in the Granny Apple Green. Hi, Kelsey. Thank you. It is fun. And I'm just using things around the house. So I'm going to also add to this background by crumpling up some saran wrap. Just gives it a little more dimension. You could do this with foil too if you really wanted to get, or wax paper. You would get more of a definition in your stamping of the papers. But it just kind of distracts from, like, oh, this is bubble wrap, right? And because I'm not sure which one I like better, I'm going to do this side as well, so that when I'm putting it together, I've got a couple choices. I'm going to mix this up a little bit more so I get some more crinkles. All right, and then on this one, I'm going to do the same. So it just kind of softens the bubbles. We got two different looks there. So I'm going to get this stuff out of the way because I know me, I'll be wearing it. All right, so I'm going to take this off. And so now I have my two panels. And then I'm going to just get rid of those little tick marks. All right, sweet. So now I can take and start assembling this card. So, Kelsey, can you hear me? I hope. All right. So it's kind of fun. All my cards are totally have a different look to them because I used a lot of different products that are from the celebrations. So it was kind of fun to come up with this. So there's the inside panel. Alrighty. So I think I am going to use this lighter one because I think this one is too different. Okay, but they totally have two different looks. So I'm going to stick this down. But in a lot of times, if you don't have a designer series paper, you can create your own kind of, right? All right. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to place this on the inside. So we have an inside panel as well. So in this card, the celebration products that I'm using are the designer series paper. And it's a 6x6 pack. And I believe it's 48 sheets. All right, so that's the inside of the card. Okay. So now the fun part, we're going to make a mechanism. So this was that one strip that we had left over. And so we're going to put that, oops, we're going to put that on the back, and you can put that pretty much anywhere you want. Actually, you know what? I think first I'm going to do my layers. So I think I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I'm going to use a lot of dimensionals on this because I just want it to stay not getting all bent up and stuff like that, right? Since it's going to be on the front of the card. It's a lot of dimensionals. Not going to go anywhere. All right. Man, we only have a couple more weeks of February and we are starting to be in the clear. It'll be March. I'm happy. I'm trying to get all my stuff done so that when the weather is nice, I can be outside because it's so hard for me to stay inside when it's nice. Oy, oy, oy. Can't do it. Alrighty. So I found for me, it was easier to line this up if I did it by the corners of the straight edge. And then it was able to line up really well. So I did that. All right, so we're going to put this, and you can put this anywhere. You could have it, whoops, keep doing this backwards. Oy, oy, oy. You could do this at this height. No matter whatever your focus is, I really like this little dark splash. So I want this to be, think about right there. Okay. So I'm going to take and put that down. And you don't want to have your adhesive going all the way to the end because, or on any sides, because you might not have your centerpiece lined up that way, right? Um, okay, so there's that. And then I decided I didn't like how unfinished this looked, so I am going to add this to the back. And it's got those cute little snails, so why not? Right? Ah, I did the wrong side. I was going to put the other side of this paper, which looks like it's green. So either way, right? Okay. So then I think I'm going to take and use some of the ribbons. So this ribbon is part of the free celebration. So this designer series paper is part of the celebration. And then this ribbon is also free. And I cannot get this thing off. Ugh. Unbelievable. All right. Whoa, that was hard to get off. All right, so I'm just going to cut off some ribbon. And I don't know if you know this, but it's always a good idea to have separate scissors just for ribbon instead of scissors that you would use for paper. It gets a much cleaner cut for you. All right. I'm a terrible bow maker. We will see how this looks. Uh-oh, I grabbed onto the wrong one. All right, so obviously it's pretty long. And I think I would like the ribbon to go this way. And I think I'm going to move it a little closer. All right. Sweet. Ah, staticky. All right, and then I think just to add a little pizzazz, I'm going to do some Winkostella here. I'm going to add a little sparkle to this card. Winkostella does the job. Super easy. Coloring is so relaxing, don't you guys think? I do. I love it. It's even fun when it's clear. It's sparkly. Who doesn't like sparkle, right? All right. And I'll leave this blank inside. So isn't that fun? And so there you have your card. So I made one similar. And this one, I did it a little different. And then the inside, I put "You Brighten My Day." And then I had the greenery on this side with the cute little snails. So those are two different looks. And then with the other, some Stampin' Celebration stuff, I did the same technique with the bubble wrap and the crinkled saran wrap, and I used lighter and darker colors, so I got a really good texture. This is part of the Celebration stamp set, and so is this embossing folder. Those are all free. So this stamp set was free, this ribbon was free, and so was the embossing folder. And then when you open it up, I have "You Brighten My Day," and it looks like that. So it's another take. I did do the crinkling of the saran wrap and the bubble wrap on this. I did it in two colors. I started doing it with only just the gorgeous grape, but I decided I needed something more, so I did it in black as well to tie in the black. So there's that. This was also part of Celebration, so this stamp set was free. And then I only used the technique of the saran wrap and bubble wrap on this designer series paper here. I took and used it here, and I did some ripping, tearing of the paper to make it look like beach. And I've got "Hey Friend, I love you more than French fries." And so this is with designer series paper. This is also was free paper. This was part of this one. I did the same. This is designer series paper that is free, and then I just did the technique on this panel. So on all these, I did them just a little bit differently. So this is all just as basic white, and I just did the technique and only used designer series paper here. This I used the base with the embossing folder, and this I used designer series paper. I made that to make my little panel. This is designer series paper and the stamp, and I just cut this out by hand. And then this one I did the saran wrap just on this panel, and I used designer series paper on here, and I used designer series paper as the background of that. And then this was also, this is designer series paper that is for free, and so I did cut these out by hand. It's fussy cutting, and then I did the stamping with the saran wrap and the bubble wrap here and here, and then this was part of, you know, the free designer series paper. So all these are very similar, but they're very different, and all of them are using different Celebration products. So take a look. The Celebration ends on February 28th, and there are some other things. This stamp set, just so you know, it is quite large, and it's, I think, primarily because you can use it for scrapbooking. So the stamps are really large. That's so just so you are aware of that. So it's kind of nice. I like that. They're starting to put some of those types of sets in here. Let me see. This is the paper that I used for the citrus. And this is the stamp set of the seagulls. I love this stamp set. It says, "Hey friend, I love you more than French fries or chips." And you get some French fries here, some fish, some shells, some sand. And I love these little guys. They're really fun. This is, and then you got this embossing folder. And that's really a cool embossing folder. It's really pretty, I think. It's all just flowers. Super fun. And here's the ribbon. And here's the paper that I used for the mushrooms, for the one that I demoed. Here is some of the paper that I used. That's this paper here. And then also, these are embellishments that are for free. And what I did on this one here was I took and colored the white or iridescent, and I colored them with the paper pumpkin, or the pumpkin pie, to make them match. So don't forget about that. If you have blends or markers, you can do that with a lot of your embellishments. So those are free. And this is to die for. I love this. I made some very awesome cards last week, a couple weeks ago on my live. And you get these gorgeous dies in the stamp set. So super fun. So, don't forget about the celebration. It's totally worth it. And then this is the stamp set that I used. Let's see, what did I do with it? This is the stamp set. I absolutely love the corner stamp sets. And then I used as well, and this is not a free celebration, but it coordinates really well. This is an online exclusive, and it's called Spring Corners. So these look really fun together. So check out the online exclusives as well, because there's so much out there, and they just came out with a whole bunch of more fun stuff. And right now, if you do decide that you want to become a demonstrator, and you don't have to do this as a business, you get your choice of 2 sets of markers for free. That's $91. And you get a stamp set that's exclusively for this. And you get $125 worth of products for $99 on top of all that. And if you didn't want that, you can also get $30 in addition to the $125. So super, super cool. So this again will be gone at the end of February. So, but I hope you like this. This is just a super fun, easy card. And you can just make them all look so different. Just, using embossing folders and, yeah. No two will look alike, so pretty fun. So let me go up to my desktop. So I hope that was something that was encouraging and gives you some motivation to do, and have a great, happy Valentine's Day. treat yourself, you know. It's just a fun day, right? Um, I've been busy making some Valentine's treats, so it's coming fast. But with that, have a great week, a nice weekend. Stay warm if you're somewhere where it's cold, and have a great night. Thank you for watching.